Hello folks, today myself and John are going to be taking a look at the first wave of the new HexTech Terrain from Gale Force 9, suitable for games like BattleTech. So John, we have here in front of us a whole slew of boxes. We've set out most, not all, onto one of the standard classic BattleTech maps.
Yep.
There's an awful lot of cover going on.
There is an awful lot of cover, but I mean, that works for classic.
Hmm.
You know, that works for the hex mats, because you've got the rising terrain on the mats as well as the actual physical stuff. So there is plenty of cover going on.
Yeah.
It's going to make it a very tight fight.
Yeah, a lot of in and out for a cityscape, essentially. Generally, when people start playing BattleTech, there's one of two ways they can go. They can go for classic, which is the hex, or they can play the new Alpha Strike, which doesn't require you to be hex-based. And Gale Force 9 have thought of that with this HexTech Terrain.
That's right.
If you plan on playing BattleTech, you can see they come on hex bases, but they actually lift off. So if you're not playing on a hex map, you don't need to worry about that. You can just go ahead and pop the building down. In this case, we've got a lovely apartment block overlooking the street.
Because Alpha Strike basically runs like a normal war game. So a war game that a lot of people will be more familiar with, where it's just open terrain with open terrain with just buildings placed around wherever. Whereas obviously classic requires you to know what grid you're in and what hex you're firing from and into, that sort of thing. Yeah.
You may have seen there, the bottom of the buildings all come with lovely velvet. So if you are just putting them down flat onto a tabletop,
they'll sit quite nice on a neoprene.
Yeah. Another interesting thing about this is, with the exception of the Justice Tower, which is this huge behemoth in the middle, he is a singular beast. And what a majestic thing it is for all of the justice to pour from. But the rest of the boxes, you get two of each type of building. So you can see right at the front here, we have the two, I'm going to keep calling them apartment blocks, but I don't know if they are apartment blocks. It is the university.
University, okay.
So those are two university complexes. We also have the TCPD precinct, which is this delightful fellow here with the landing pads on top. And again, unusual floor footprint on it as well, because it has this sort of starfish, the cross looking thing.
Yep. We have the condo as well, which is the smaller one, which also comes in the two colors. So that's the two different there. Thank you, Shake Hand.
And last but by no means least, we have the estate buildings. So these large monolithic looking things with three sides. Now the really nice thing about these, apart from the fact that they all come painted as is, so you can, if you want to do extra detail or weathering, or if you just want to get on with your life and start playing games, you can just pop them straight on the board. On that note, the BattleTech, the classic boards, the hex mats all have very defined setups. So this has got a couple of hills, a river running through it, and then the road. But then by dropping these on, you change things massively. So whereas before this building would have sat on top of what was actually a level,
multi-level hill.
Multi-level hill. You remove two of those levels simply by dropping the hex building onto it. So you can actually change the layout of an existing map, and maybe a map that you've played frequently. So you can change up how your game will play out on what is essentially a standard map. All of a sudden, the hills that people may have fought over for line of sight suddenly disappear, or maybe the hills that people fight over for line of sight can't get over the top of one of these big buildings like the Justice Tower. So the lines are blocked, and it means that you have to think about how you're going to use the terrain and how you're going to develop your game around it as well. So exciting to see Gale Force 9 working with David Wiles.
Wiles, we're going to say?
We think. Sorry if that's not how that's pronounced. I've never seen that name before. So David's HexTech Terrain, he's obviously been working on it for a while as a 3D sculptor and modeler. It's great to see them branching out and doing something like this, because it's an excellent system for people who don't do the 3D printing themselves, and a really robust, I think it's their sort of polystone resin. So it's a solid piece with a nice heft to it, and should stand the test of time for years to come.
Let's hope so.
Yes. So there you go. That is the HexTech Terrain from Gale Force 9. Let us know what you think below, folks. We're going to move on. Bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.